right, good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight on our Town of Frederick Board of Trustees meeting on the 10th of December. Jason, if you don't mind calling the roll for us tonight, I'd appreciate that.
Sure. Trustee Mahan?
Here.
Trustee Lamont?
Here.
Trustee DeValdi?
Here.
Trustee March?
Here.
Mayor Kreitz?
Here.
Trustee Padilla?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Here.
Mayor, you have enough for quorum this evening.
Thank you. Let's now stand and join each other for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do you all see any changes to our agenda tonight?
Yes, Mayor Kreitz, one item as noted on the consent agenda, item B, which is the board's committees, commissions, and appointments. I would recommend that the board remove that item from the consent agenda when that item comes up. And our town clerk, Trish Clerk, has just a quick 2-minute presentation and also gives us an opportunity to introduce those boards and commissioners that are here tonight for the board to get to know.
That would be item B. Yep. Okay.
On the consent agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. And no special presentations tonight, correct?
Correct.
Okay, we'll move into public comment. This portion of our agenda is provided to allow members of our audience to provide comments to the town board. Please sign in and I will call you. If your comments or concerns require an action, that item or items will need to be placed on a later agenda. Thank you very much. All right, Representative Wook. Don't get comfortable.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and trustees. I just have a few comments to share with you. I will be your newly elected state representative, of course, as mentioned, and I'm a former trustee, so I have that kind of knowledge that you guys have developed here as well. And just some things I heard tonight as well. I'd love to help on Highway 52. To do whatever I can. I actually just got on the Highway 52 Coalition.
Great.
I know it's an uphill battle, but I drive it every day. It's dangerous and horribly kept, and whatever I can do to help you guys and help Frederick is something I will do. So, and then I know Congressman-elect Evans. I know him very well. If there's anything federally, I don't know if there is, but again, there's a good contact for you. I'm willing to help with that if there's anything there to make a connection. And yeah, just let's see. I want to let you know what committees I'm on. I'm going to be the ranking member on energy and environment. And then today I was just told that I'm also going to be on the transportation, housing, and local government. So again, hopefully a good tie-in that if there's anything you guys are dealing with, I can kind of have a head start in that regard. And let's see. Just like I said, I want to work with you guys, and also want to invite you, whether it's individually or as a group, on a tour. I talked to Jason a little bit ago, but if any of you want to go on a tour, maybe you already have, happy to give you a tour, or if I don't have time, have someone give you a tour. So whether it's you guys as a group, whether it's individual, happy to do that. And maybe I'll send my contact info to whoever you'd like, and we can communicate that way. So kind of ironic, it's standing up here. I work for you guys, but also I'm a resident here, so you work for me too. So kind of interesting irony. But that's all I just wanted to say. I was a former legislator, and you just really get caught up down there and kind of lose track of people and your community a little bit if you aren't careful. And I learned once that I did kind of get sucked in a different district, but I realize now there's just going to have to be time set aside for municipalities that I'm going to be representing. So really look forward to you guys seriously reaching out for anything. So
Great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if you want to do questions now, but
Thank you.
good.
Y'all have any questions? Questions are fine.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
It's a crazy little roller coaster.
Yeah, exactly. Great. That is all I have for public comment tonight. I'll double check a little bit later just in case. But we'll move into staff reports. Brian, if you don't mind addressing
Yes.
your items.
Mayors, member of the board, a couple of items.
Let's see.
I encourage you, if you get a chance, to go out and click on the Business Awards link. Those videos are tremendous.
Yes.
Again, congratulations and kudos to the staff for putting together it was a Class A event. It made Frederick shine. So thanks to the team in regards to that. It wasn't obviously economic development led the charge, Sierra specifically, but also a number of departments played a key role in helping out with that. And we appreciate economic development, Max and Sierra, with all of that work. Again, the Christmas tree lighting event, it continues to grow. Not only communications playing a huge role in that, but obviously Public Works and Parks and the PD. Thank you to Trustee Padilla as well in leading the chant and the fireworks. It was a great event.
Did a chant?
Yes.
Yeah.
She had him
Dang.
rocking.
When I say Santa, you say Claus. That's how I say
Oh, is there video of this? Dang.
it.
Oh, yes.
I don't think there's video. I think it was, lost to history.
Oh, sure. Okay.
We have video.
Okay. That's
And then one
amazing.
final item, we have hired a people and culture director. We sent out an announcement today to the organization. We're excited. They will start probably the first week of January. Her name is Brittany, and she comes with over 10 plus years of experience at the executive level within HR, truly understands the partnership, has a SPHR and an MBA. I think more importantly did a lot of work before the position was even posted and doing ride-alongs with our PD, connecting with Public Works. And so the key thing here in Frederick is just building that trust and understanding the value of partnership. And so we are moving full forward on that, as well as within the next probably 2 weeks, we'll be looking at the vacancy with engineering and getting some information out in regards to that and moving that forward. So as we hit the beginning of the next year, we'll be hitting the ground running pretty quickly.
When is she starting?
First week in January, I think January 6th.
I think I've already seen some of the businesses even share some of those videos. So I love that you all gave the video to the business so that they could share it in their communications efforts. That was really nice. Was that a gift to them, I'm assuming? Yes?
Yeah, it was part of the overall program to be able to make those videos available to the businesses. The team, credit to Max and the economic development team for that, but we thought that was a nice add to this year.
So too. That was beautiful. Thank you.
And one other item, Mayor, I forgot. I know it's in the report, but we're excited for our new turf management employee superintendent at the golf course. Comes with some tremendous experience in regards to turf management. So we're excited to see where the course goes next year.
Where the course goes. I like it. It's good. It's good. That's exciting. Are they here? No? They're not here?
Not here. Nope. We'll have an employee introduction, I believe, first quarter of next year.
Okay. Q1 intro. Got it. I have a quick question for you, and I apologize if I just missed it. Last year we did a roll off trash at Public Works this time of year. Are we doing that this season?
Yeah, I believe it's programmed. We talked about doing it, so we'll follow up and get an email out to the board just as an update. I think I actually had some residents asking about some information, so we'll put that out there and let you know.
Great, thank you. Yes, I have had the same, so I would like to be able to get back to them on what the plan is. Thank you. Any other? Oh, you know what? Did I have other questions? No, that was my only question. Good? Yes? Great. Thank you, Brian. And yes, all of your teams are doing a fabulous job. It's been, and I think we can talk about it a little bit later, but even the top 10 things that, have been accomplished over the last year, just really exciting to go back and reflect on that and, all the conversations that go into that. It's not one person or one department that makes any of those 10 things happen. It's all 156 employees that work here and a variety of other resources, I'm sure. So you're all doing a great job because we're asking you to do a lot of things. And I know it may not be encouraging to hear that we're planning to ask you to do more things in 2025, but it shows, good faith that you all do such a great job and you're able to deliver, and you all seem happy. You're smiling at me right now, so that means everything's great, right? Yes?
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good. All right. Maybe we won't give you too many things then. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we'll move into our consent agenda. Our consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion and vote. There will be no separate discussion of consent agenda items unless a board member so requests, in which case that item will be removed from our consent agenda and considered at the end of our consent agenda. You did have a recommendation tonight. Would anyone like to remove item B for discussion?
I'm happy to do that.
Second.
Sorry, that wasn't very formal.
No, you're.
Sure.
And
Mayor Kreitz, I move that we move forward with the consent agenda with the exception of item B.
Second.
all right.
Formal.
Trustee Mahan,
Yes.
Trustee DeValdi,
Yes.
Trustee March,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Mock,
Yes.
Trustee Padilla.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. All right, item B. Tricia, if you don't mind joining us at the podium, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Board of Trustees.
It's not a good noise.
We started our interviewing process a few months ago, and this item, by the way, is aligning with the town's strategic plan by actively engaging with the Frederick residents to provide the town's boards, commissions, and committees with diverse and well-rounded representation. At the time we started our interviewing process, we had the following vacancies, 2 on the Arts Committee, 5 on Building Appeals Board, 2 on the Historic Preservation Committee, 1 Planning, and 11 on the Youth Commission. We had assembled a panel, an interview panel, which consisted of Trustees Padilla and Trustee Padilla and Trustee Taveldi, and also with some various members of town staff. And we conducted all of these interviews in September, both at Town Hall and at the high school. Our interviews, we did 6 interviews, Planning Commission, Arts Committee, Building Appeals, and Youth Commission. And these were the individuals that we interviewed. And we do have 4 recommendations. We propose the following motion if the board moves forward with the appointments. Tracy Moe is here this evening. We would like to reappoint her to the Planning Commission. Bonnie Ginther is also here this evening, and she's a longtime member of the Arts Committee. And Philip Clark is also here tonight. We'd like to request he be appointed to the Arts Committee as well. He originally interviewed for the Planning Commission, but he's very happy on the Arts Committee. He's been joining as a guest. And Gavin Sedgwick is our individual for the Youth Commission, and he was unable to make it, unfortunately. We did have another interviewee, and she has since decided not to be on. She decided that she was unable to join.
Okay. So, for the Youth Commission?
For the Youth Commission,
Okay.
sorry, yes. If you go forward with these appointments, we'll have these vacancies going into 2025, which is great. There aren't that many.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't have any other questions, I'd love to have our guests in the audience come up and meet you if you would like.
We'd love that.
Okay.
You
If
bet.
they're willing. But if they're not comfortable, that's okay too.
And Tracy.
Are we going one at a time or how?
How would you like to do it?
We'd love all of you. Then maybe,
Bet.
please. And then maybe just introduce yourself if that's okay, and hear why you're interested in. We know, Tracy, why you're interested.
And like
but-
I just double checked. It's been almost 15 years. Like I'm 1 month away.
That's
so,
wild. Yeah.
pretty wild. So yes, Tracy Mao, Planning Commission. I'm the current chair. I love what I do, and I love this town, and certainly, it's a wonderful thing to be a part of and see our town grow and shape and prosper. So
Great.
I don't know if you need to know anything else about me, but I'll I'll
All
get
right.
away from the mic. and listen.
Questions as needed, if that's the
Okay.
case. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Bonnie Ginther. This is my 4th year joining the Arts Committee. And I want to tell you, you better hang on to your hats because we have a really, really outstanding committee with lots of ideas. And
Hey.
we want to make this town as best and profitable and well-known as possible.
Great.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic, Bonnie.
Do all those things, please.
And I'm Philip Clark. I prefer to go by Phil, but for formality, I'm Philip. I moved here from Southern California in 2019. My family and I were the very first residents of Clark Ranch. Note my last name. Very coincidental. So, we like to say it's ours. Love living in Frederick. It's been fun, kind of living in small town America after many, many years in Southern California. So just enjoying, getting more involved with the town and seeing what I can do to help. So thank you.
Thank you. Good.
Great.
Welcome to the family.
Yes.
After we approve.
Not yet.
And that's all I have.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for all of your efforts on that. I know it's not easy to coordinate, but it's nice to meet our new committee and commission members and appreciate you reaching out to the community and just finding out if people are interested. I know that's not easy, so thank you.
It's fun.
Good. I'm glad. All right, any direction on item B?
Yes, Mayor Kreitz, I move to approve 24-R-59 and appoint the following members. Tracy Moe to the Planning Commission, Bonnie Ginther to the Arts Committee, Philip Clark to the Arts Committee, and Gavin Sedgwick to the Youth Commission.
Second.
Trustee Padilla,
Yes.
Trustee DeValny,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Mahan,
Yes.
Trustee Lamont,
Yes.
Trustee March.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Now, welcome to the family.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your service and your time. We appreciate you. Yes. Yes. Again, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
I might have to entertain that building appeals at least.
Yeah, right? You're 16.
Yeah.
Bye. All right. Let's see. We have action agenda items. Item D is a public hearing. So this is the second public hearing for our fiscal year 2025 proposed budget. So I'll now open the public hearing so that all matters, including the legal notice, presentation, public comments, any written or oral comments, and comments by the board are all included as a matter of our public hearing.
Good evening again, Mayor Kreitz and Board of Trustees. Before you this evening for your consideration is Resolution 24-R-69 for the adoption of the Town 2025 budget. The budget is presented for consideration and it was initially presented to the board in October of this year, and no changes have been made to the proposed budget. State law does require that the board adopt a budget each fiscal year. I would like to add that the volume of activity that is assembled by fund on behalf of the town is a tremendous undertaking, and so I would like to publicly recognize Anthony Bixby and Shantina Martinez. This truly is a team effort, and the accuracy and excellence could not be achieved without their efforts. So thank you to both of you.
Yes.
I would be happy to answer any questions regarding the town 2025 budget.
Thank you. Any questions? I think I have a question regarding potential amendments. Is this a good time for that or no? Yes? So after reviewing it as a board in October, we have had brief discussions as a board, and then I think some staff members have been involved in better understanding how we can apply some potential funding to Silver Birch to wetlands as the priority for mill and overlay. And then next in line is the frontage road to Silver Birch and aggregate to frontage. That would be the order of priority. I guess maybe now is a question of procedure on how we ensure that be codified within the 2025 budget? Is it an amendment at this time, or is it an amendment into the future, or what would you prefer as procedure?
It's a great question. It is an amendment for the future, and I will defer to what that process looks like to our Deputy Town Manager, Jason Leslie.
Okay. Thank you.
Mayor, if I could jump in just real quick, I would recommend that the board, even in addition, as it being an amendment in the future, but the board directs staff to go and bring back solid numbers by end of first quarter. So we have that direction from the board on record, and then we can move forward with the amendment at that point.
Okay.
Jason.
Yeah, correct. So if the board tonight could make the recommendation of prioritizing that project, and in that on record stating to have staff go back, get costs, and then we would come back in first quarter once those firm costs are in, do a budget amendment at that point, identifying the funding source, along with then appropriating board approval for those dollars to be used for that specific project.
Okay.
And would that include the prioritization of the sections on Bella Rosa?
Whichever the board identifies on record for us to go back and price, then definitely that's the direction we will take when we come back for the budget amendment. Will be the details of those costs of that segment of the project.
Okay.
I also have a question. Pardon me, Mayor.
No, please.
Question from my memory. And I tried looking it up a little bit this afternoon. I couldn't remember whether they're doing a planning on the Bella Rosa Silver Birch intersection. Are they working on that?
So we're in design of that intersection right now. So typically that's a 3-year project. Year 1 is design, year 2 is right-of-way acquisition, year 3, if funding is available, would be construction of that intersection. So we're in the design
Colorado
phase of Silver Birch right now. So that would probably be 3 years out for construction pending funding, identifying a funding source for that intersection.
I'd hate to do it, some of those sections, and then go back in and have them redo it or expand that. What I'm trying to say is I just make sure that we organize and put steps and procedures into that particular project so that we're not putting something down and then a year or two later going back in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trustee Lamach, I would recommend as part of that, bringing back something in March. We'll have hard numbers because we'll have a bid, or we can do a pre-bid and get that information. So we'll have solid numbers. We'll know where it needs to come from, because the Street and Alley Fund is currently obviously not in very good shape. So where does that come from in the general fund, unrestricted fund balance? Then in addition to that, we can take each section and look out 5 years and anticipate so we're not doing duplicative services in regards to that. From what we know, I believe from Wetlands to Silver Birch is the only area that we know that there's full development already on there. And so we can put that as part of the presentation to get board's full approval on that. I would say no later than end of first quarter, because we will want to get that programmed into the construction season, and that should start, in early spring, I would imagine.
Right. Well, and to clarify, I don't want to take away from the celebration of all that went into the proposed budget. I think we all agree that proposed budget will set us up for success, and we support the budget. Since we've had a project at Silver Birch and Colorado Boulevard, not only have we heard feedback from residents, but we've seen the project have a few delays. We don't feel like it was a successful project, and we feel like we missed a few steps in that project, and we owe it to the pedestrians and residents in that area to put a little bit more emphasis on their transportation in that area. So this isn't something that we could have talked about many months ago, because we're just now considering it based on the reflection of the project itself. So I don't think that there's anything tonight that the board will be saying is is incorrect or inappropriate about the proposed budget. We just want to make sure that now we discuss what hard numbers could look like for particularly Silver Birch to wetlands and improving the pedestrian and non-pedestrian transportation. So does that sound reasonable? And then there are other conversations to follow in request of numbers and process and plans for other projects. Yes?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. As a matter of procedure then, and I know we still have some more items within this public hearing, should we continue with this public hearing and then offer an additional resolution? Is that what would be appropriate? Bless you.
Thank you.
Similar to when you work to approve a project with an amended motion, you can make that statement at that point after the public hearing is wrapped up. And when you're going to move to pass resolution, you can ask that it be amended to include direction to staff as discussed previously here.
Thank you. My apologies.
What we'll do is the town attorney's office will go make sure that we amend that resolution itself to add that directive language. We don't want to hold up the adoption of the budget because we need to get that done today.
Agreed. Right. Agreed.
So if the board is amenable to have the town attorney's office have a little latitude in drafting what that language is, that direction to bring back additional numbers for discussion in first quarter, we can do that.
Okay. I think this is an appropriate time while it's on the record and the community can hear and see, their representative government working towards the solutions that they ask for. So another reason that it's brought up at the moment. Okay, where are we in this item? Public comments. Yes? Do you have any plans for public comments? No? Are you aware of any?
Not to my knowledge, Mayor, but you can certainly ask if there's anybody in print.
Okay, but we don't have any written or oral comments regarding the budget.
Yep.
Correct?
Done.
Okay. I'll give it a 30-second overview if anyone would like to provide any public comments to the town board regarding the 2025 proposed budget. Hearing and seeing none, are there any comments by the board? Any questions for staff? Yes?
I got one comment. I want to thank you, Curtis, and your staff for all the hard work on this. Once again, I keep saying this when you do this for us, but the way you present this stuff for us to look at when we're so responsible for the monies that are spent in this town, it's great. It's easy to understand, and if we have any questions, then quick phone call, the question is answered, and we move on. So thank you and your staff.
Thank you for the recognition, sir. We appreciate it very much.
Any other comments? No? All right, we can close the public hearing and provide direction from the town board.
All right. Mayor Kreitz, I move that we adopt Resolution 24-R-29, which is the approval of the 69, I apologize, approval of the 2025 budget with the amendment that we will direct staff to come back with some numbers in the first quarter surrounding the discussion on those construction projects.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Trustee DeFelli?
Yes.
Trustee Mahan?
Yes.
Trustee Padilla?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Lamont?
Yes.
Trustee March?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Wonderful. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you to Shantina and Anthony, yourself, and Tracy and Becky and Jennifer and everyone in your team. We really appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Yes, can you curtsy? Will you curtsy? Just, is there cake?
No one wants to see that.
Oh, okay. Please bow. All right, item E.
Next for your consideration is Resolution 24-R-68, acknowledging receipt of the 2025 fiscal budget. The Town of Frederick Board must receive the preliminary budget no later than October 15th of each year. The resolution verifies that the board did receive the preliminary budget on October 8th of this year and has met that statutory requirement. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
No questions?
Can confirm we did receive it.
Can confirm. Direction would be great, please.
Mayor Kreitz, I move that we adopt Resolution 24-R-68, acknowledgement of the 2025 preliminary budget.
Second.
At?
Trustee March,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown,
Yes.
Trustee DeValdi,
Yes.
Trustee Mahan,
Yes.
Trustee Padilla,
Yes.
Trustee Lamont.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you again. Item F.
Next for your consideration is Resolution 24-R-70, describing a listing of fees for services that staff are requesting to be updated or removed from the 2025 fee schedule. The schedule is reviewed regularly and amended based upon the need. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And just as an addition, there were only 4 items that were updated for 2025. It was a fairly light year, but forthcoming will be more than likely in the February timeframe amendments related to the water rate structure, as well as any impact fee adjustments as recommended by senior leadership.
Heads up. Any questions?
I guess I really appreciate how early these packets get out and they're posted to the public really early, which I think is really good. Did you get any questions or comments from residents or anyone on this at all?
With the posting of the proposed budget in the 2 locations on the website, I received no inquiries this year.
Direction, if there's no more questions.
Mayor Kreitz, I move that we adopt Resolution 24-R-70, the updated fee schedule.
Second.
Trustee Lamont,
Yes.
Trustee Mahan,
Yes.
Trustee Padilla,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown,
Yes.
Trustee March,
Yes.
Trustee DeValdi.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Finally, item G.
And the next item for consideration is Resolution 24-R-71 to set the mill levy for the town general fund operations. The levy is typically certified to Weld County by December 15th of each year. Because of the passage of Senate Bill 24-233, the total assessed property valuation of the town decreased $179 million, restoring the values to approximate 2023 levels. This equates to a property tax revenue reduction of around $1.2 million specific to the town general fund. As a reminder to the board, the definition of a mill is $1 of applied property taxation for every $1,000 of assessed valuation. With the town's levy set at 6.555 mils, that equates to $6.55 for every $1,000 of assessed property valuation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Mayor Kreitz, I move that we adopt Resolution 24-R-71, setting the town mill levy.
Second.
Trustee March,
Yes.
Trustee Mahan,
Yes.
Trustee Padilla,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown,
Yes.
Trustee DeValdi,
Yes.
Trustee Lamont.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. From here, I'll pass the remaining resolutions to Jason Leslie.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Curtis. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Curtis. Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna pop a window.
Would you mind? Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and trustees. Tonight I have a First Amendment to the Memorandum of Agreement for Public Improvements for the Silverstone Marketplace. This item falls under the strategic plan of strategic, reliable, and sustainable infrastructure and effective, efficient, and strategic government operations. The proposed amendment is to update Exhibit B. So, Exhibit B of the original Silverstone Marketplace MOAPI included engineers' cost estimates, where now we have actual contractor bid amounts for the project. This update will ensure that the proper funds are appropriated for both the shared and the additional town improvements that were identified in the MOAPI. Through coordination with finance on the funding sources and allocation of costs, we're determined to successfully accomplish this project. There are two components. One was township improvements related to Highway 52 and Colorado Boulevard roadway improvements, and the other one was additional improvements related to the 2022 Colorado Boulevard Mill and Overlay Project decrease, because that was a section from the roundabout to up to Tipple. With all of those changes, we identified that the additional amounts for Highway 52 at the intersection of 52 and Colorado Boulevard were an increase of 1.2 million. Those were identified for eligible for ARPA funding, and the additional amount for the Colorado Boulevard roadway north of Highway 52 up to the roundabout was $173,655. So this updated all of those original estimated costs in the MOAPI to be actual costs. So that way we have that documented for when we can go back for any of the shared pieces. It's on record through the amendment through updating Exhibit B with these updated actual costs. Here's a map here kind of showing where the improvements are. Again, Colorado Boulevard east of Centerline, east side of 13th Street from the roundabout, the northeast, southwest, and southeast corners of Highway 52 and Colorado Boulevard, the southwest and southeast corners of Highway 52 and William Bailey, and Highway 52 south of the Centerline and east of Colorado Boulevard. As many of you probably have driven through that since the project was completed, as seen all of those improvements have been majorly completed at this time. Our recommendation this evening is to approve Resolution 24R46. However, the board can approve with conditions, have us go back, renegotiate, or take no action this evening. But I can answer any questions. If it's highly technical questions, I have Jason Berg here to answer those questions on my behalf.
No questions?
Nope.
No questions?
Right, Mayor Kreitz, sorry. I move to approve Resolution 24-R-46.
Second.
Trustee DeValdi?
Yes.
Trustee March?
Yes.
Trustee Padilla?
Yes.
Trustee Lamont?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Mahan?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
You.
Now, if you want me to adjust.
Feels great, thanks.
That's fantastic.
Right. I want to make sure it's the right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good evening. This evening, I have an item for 2024 budget amendment. This item falls under the strategic plan alignment of fiscally responsible governance. The proposed amendment this evening is to allocate for items that were brought forward that were not originally identified and appropriated in the 2024 budget during this time last year. At this time last year, we were not far enough along on the new Public Works facility project to have identified the cost for the owner's rep and the architect design firm
Bless you.
for that new project. As we went through Q1 and Q2 of 2024. Went through a formal RFP process for the owner's rep, and we selected Dana Kelly, and that contract was brought forward and approved by the board at that time. Following that, we did another formal RFP for architect and design firm. Through that selection process, we identified RB&B, and that contract was brought forward to the board at that time as well. Now that we were getting towards the end of the year, we wanted to bring forward the budget amendment to appropriate the dollars from a budget standpoint, to making sure that as we close out the year, we are in alignment with what is statutorily required. With the capital facility fund is where those items have been identified to use fund balance of around $1,015,000 to cover both of those contracts of the owner's rep and of the architect and design firm for the public works facility project. The other item on the amendment this evening is for the park improvement fund of $350,000. We knew going into 2024, when we built that budget, that was right around the same time we were asking voters to be able to expand the half-cent sales tax, and with that was going to be merging the park improvement fund along with the open space fund. But due to the timing of the budget, we went into 2024 with those funds still independent. We knew the park improvement fund did not have a steady revenue stream and was more than likely going to be going over throughout the year. We were waiting until we got this far along in the year to see really what that threshold of funding was needed in order to balance that fund before we go into 2025, where they get merged into what you saw in the proposed budget that was just adopted a few moments ago. With that, we were needing to utilize $350,000 in order to balance that fund due to the expenditures of those additional costs in its final year in this fund structure. Those are the two items identified in the budget amendment this evening. I'm here to answer any additional questions. If not, there are some optional recommendations of what could be approved this evening.
Thanks, Jason. Any questions?
We did 73 and 74, right? Right there? No?
So they're not separate, I don't think.
No, it's one amendment that does both funds. Yeah. Correct.
Still have 74 coming though.
Yes.
It just looks like that's what
I'll have to ask for 74.
Right.
Okay.
Please.
Mayor Kreitz, I move to approve resolution 24-R-73.
Second.
Trustee March?
Yes.
Trustee Mahan?
Yes.
Trustee Tavelli?
Yes.
Trustee Lamont?
Yes.
Trustee Padilla?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Budget.
Mm-hmm. Now we're amending.
Contract.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Pull that one up. Hold on. Final item I have for you guys this evening is a contract amendment for the Public Works facility with regarding to our contract with the architectural firm. This item falls under the strategic plan of strategic, reliable, and sustainable infrastructure and fiscally responsible governance. This proposed amendment is to expand the scope of work on the project with Airbnb to include design of the public water lines that will provide water utility to the new proposed public works facility site, primarily the pipe work along Silver Birch. The breakdown of this additional scope of work is $112,790 in addition to the original contract that was awarded to them this spring. The breakdown of that is $7,400 for architectural of that water line work, and then the remaining amount is breakdown here of the engineering work associated with that project. So this will be bringing that main water line up Silver Birch, connecting to the Public Works facility, but will also be getting us ahead for any further development that continues up north of the facility as well. At the time when we did the RFP for the architectural, it was really site specific to the site until we really dove into the site, and we're working on where the various building and locations are, and working with town planners, knowing that this line needed to be done is why we are now at this point of needing to expand the scope of work for this firm. I can answer any questions on that at this time.
Oh, go ahead. No, you're fine.
Jason, in reading this proposal, I wanted to ask, why didn't we know this when this was first proposed? This project was first proposed. Why are we adding $113,000 to it? And secondly, is in the diagrams that you sent us on our packets, it comes extremely close to Agilent, and that U-shaped area, or that, what do we call it? Is it going to impact Agilent in any way?
It is not. So by us doing this pipeline actually will allow a level of redundancy in that area. So if there's ever any issues in the future, we're able to manage our water service a lot better by having a separate line come up. This is to also add a layer of redundancy in addition to the water needs of our public works facility. It creates a whole additional layer of pipeline in that whole area to provide service.
So we're not going to impact Agilent in any way like we did several months ago?
No, we've isolated that issue where we knew where that water line was feeding, and so we've corrected that, so that would not be an issue going forward. This will only enhance our ability to divert water if there ever needs to be, to not impact the businesses in that area.
Okay. I would like to see Agilent involved in this process, just to make sure that we're not impacting them in any manner in their productions of product, because I don't want to go through the thing we went through last. Maybe I'm asking too much, but I just don't think we need to impact a good business partner or the town if we can avoid it. That makes sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. We never want to impact any of our business partners. So definitely anything that, as this is being mapped out and designed, anything that could potentially feed into their direct line of receiving water or anything, we will definitely make sure all the partners in that entire business area are involved in what our communication and any potential impact. But our goal is this is being built to help so there aren't impacts to that whole area.
Are we aware of any other applications or potential projects? And you mentioned north that could utilize this line right now or moving forward. No.
Not that I know in the immediate future. I would defer to maybe planning or.
I mean, it could connect to clearing images.
Okay. Per their plans now, that's not the case, but it could.
Yeah, right now there's a gap.
Okay, thank you.
What about the new St. Vrain Sanitation District building?
Yeah, so that's part of the business park in Eagle. It's a little bit further north of this loop that's being connected.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
You just feel like you're yelling at us back there.
So the St. Vrain facility is on, I believe, Falcon Place, which is halfway between Agilent and the subdivision.
Right.
So this would be just north of the loop that's being connected. Essentially, it comes in at Carbide, where the current Public Works facility is. So it wouldn't be affected, but again, could provide redundancy to get around anything if there's anything in Eagle Boulevard that would need repair.
Great. Super. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
All right, Mayor. Oh, sorry.
Good.
Okay. Mayor Kreitz, I move that we adopt resolution number 24-R-74.
Second.
Trustee Mahan?
Yes.
Trustee March?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Trustee DeValdi?
Yes.
Trustee Padilla?
Yes.
Trustee Lamont?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Good job. That was a lot of budget stuff.
Kind of nice.
Can I ask Curtis if he could just run through it real quick for me?
You want? Curtis left. He left.
Ran away.
He left the building. Doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
All of his department with him.
Yeah.
He ran to go start the budget book. No.
Right.
He's getting started on the 26 budget.
Nice. That's exactly what he's doing. Somebody get him a glass of water.
Few months.
No kidding.
Maybe a jug.
A jug of water. Well, thank you to everyone so far in tonight's meeting for just, the diligence that you've all shown. It's not easy or fun to discuss the budget over and over, but it's important work. And to me, it's good governance that we've been able to see the budget in great detail before October, and we've been a part of the conversation in what was codified and adopted tonight. I think it's valuable time spent, and appreciate all of your team members and departments for all the things that felt like, this is the end of the year. So you do all these budget conversations and all of your action items have to do with mill, levies and fee structures, and all of it feels really redundant, but it's really important. And I know you've all been working on it for a really long time. So thank you for providing continuity and being thoughtful in the process for our residents and our businesses. So thank you for tonight. It is now time for trustee reports. Does anyone have any trustee reports they'd like to share this evening? Yes.
I want to make a comment on our Christmas lighting ceremony.
Yes.
Trustee Padilla, of course, knocked it out of the park.
I'm so proud of you. That's exciting.
He was awesome.
Yay.
Um,
Now you have to do it all the time.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was great. We had scads of people, just scads and scads of people. There was a couple of things, a couple of areas of concern that I had, and I brought them up to Brian earlier, and I'm sure we'll look at these things to get it. Had to do with safety. So,
okay.
I as kind of brought a thought to me. It seems you and I have been doing these Christmas lighting ceremonies for a while, and this one I think had the most people in it.
That's so great. Yeah.
And I'm looking at that and I'm saying, if this keeps growing, what are we going to do? I don't know that we're going to be able to fit that many more people into these things. So I don't know whether we need to worry about that till the time comes, or
Do you have a
what.
solution? Max has a solution. He's going to build us an ice town. Oh?
It was great. Again. And I thank everyone that was involved in that. I had so many people that were happy while we were there. It was great.
That's great.
So all about what Christmas is about. So
Yeah. Well, thank you.
would have been nice if we'd had somebody there with a barbershop quartet.
Oh.
Would have been really.
He's talking to you. I thought he was talking to me. I was like, oh boy.
My wife my daughter had a performance that night, so I was not able to attend.
Well, that's more important. Anyway, thank you to everyone for that. It was great.
Yes, thank you for attending and leading the charge. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
I have to second what Trustee March said. Wendy did a great job, and
Yay,
I'm
Wendy.
really impressed and happy with it. I agree with Trustee March on the fact that, boy, as many people as I've seen in that area, and I was wondering, are we going to be able to get next year's crowd into this? If the weather holds or weather is good, we had a great turnout. I'd like to get some sort of numbers on it, but I don't know if I can't get them numbers. But I mean, the park was filled. You know, from the Parks Department that decorated the park, the lights, the trees, the comments. I mean, they were talking about the museum being lit up and the street. They did a great job. So Colby, it was a good job, and thank you. Every department that participated did a fantastic job.
I feel like there's always a recap video though that I'll watch.
Should be some videos, especially of Wendy.
Yeah. Mission Critical.
To advertise next year's.
Yeah.
I
I'm
wore a
sorry.
necklace that lit up. I think that was
The trick.
What did it?
That's what it takes. Yep. Great. Well, thank you. It sounds like a fun time. And you're already talking to the right people about what the plan is. Maybe you all do what you do best. We just get to be in the parade. So, and Wendy gets to speak.
I think that's
Adam can sing.
every year.
Quite a few good things.
The fireworks were great.
Yes, I did hear a lot of feedback on the fireworks, and I'm glad that a lot of them were positive.
Me, I mean, they were close. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, just right there, and it was really nice.
Great.
I didn't hear anybody say anything negative about that was there.
Yeah.
The negative stuff I saw on, of course, media, social media stuff, but everybody that Wanda and I stood there waiting to get us some kettle corn, for a while in the lines, and everybody was excited about it, and they really a great idea. I wouldn't mind seeing it incorporated every year.
Oh, I like the suggestion. Already have to amend the budget. Add fireworks.
I mean, my granddaughter was in Meade's parade. I asked her how it went. Yeah, I'm a typical 15-year-old, but it was all right. We're competing with Meade at that night. Meade had the championship that morning.
Oh.
There was the parade of lights down in Denver, and we still had a darn good
turnout.
Yes.
Great. Well, keep doing what you're doing, Jessica and event team. Same with, I think the park looks so pretty, and I think that I know we're in trouble for putting lights on the light posts, but this is good trouble because they look amazing and we look welcoming in downtown, and like you could park your car and grab a cup of coffee and it's safe and clean and friendly. So I love all of the lights. I think they're beautiful. Good job.
Our new coffee shop, Miko's, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't try the coffee yet, but that's coming. Yeah, really good black cherry soda, I can tell you that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Exciting. Good. New businesses.
Really nice in there. So
great. Good.
Hope they're very successful.
I do too.
We need that. I miss them.
Yeah, we do need that. Any other trustee reports? Yes.
Just want to thank Jason Berg, Jason Leslie, Ryan, and Brian for going down to Denver with me to the Denver Regional Council of Governments, meeting with their executive director. There is money for transportation that we can tap into in a variety of ways, and I think it just benefits us to be more plugged in regionally. One thing to note is just not any decisions now, but they do have a regional housing needs assessment. They will see if it's accepted by the Department of Local Affairs by the end of December. It could serve as our own housing needs assessment so that we wouldn't have to run through that process if we wanted to. We wouldn't have to, pay a consultant and kind of do our own thing. But if we wanted to, we could. There's a requirement that we hold public meetings and sort of coordinate that. But it's just, one example of a benefit from being a part of Dr. Cog, that it's optional to kind of use some of their studies if we want to. And it could save time and resources. So that could be a conversation in in later 2025.
We could get a crack at some DOLA funds, possibly.
Not through Dr. Cog. Dr. Cog is the distributor of a lot of money for transportation.
Yeah.
And they have kind of a separate pot for Southwestern Weld County, but then they have another pot for regional projects as well.
Okay.
So it's just kind of one tool in the toolbox. And I really thank Brian for all the engagement and just getting really, really plugged into if we can get opportunities to get more funding for transportation. I think we need to, kind of turn over every couch cushion.
Yeah. Look for the nickels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Cog's been around for like a long, long time, and they can be really useful. I've seen them help Denver out a number of times. So thank you for using your expertise in dealing with the state.
We can be a little squeakier wheel, and maybe more resources going north than going to other places. We'll see.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of those relationships require consistency, and that's something we've struggled with, is getting to those meetings as often as possible and then having sidebar conversations. So thank you for committing to that. I know it's not easy to.
I work less than a mile from their office, so
Right.
it's a lot easier for me than probably for the rest of the board. So I'm happy to do it as long as I don't get fired, and then
Let's not do that.
I know.
Nope, that won't happen. But appreciate the update. Thank you. Yeah, and team members for getting involved. It's nice. Anything else?
No.
No.
We had our youth commission meeting last night. They're strategizing on how to get some more members, and we're going to do a field trip to Denver over the holiday break to go to visit the Capitol building.
Okay.
And they are going to talk in January about kind of not really starting a program, but just getting a good initiative going for that Snow Buddies program, and just kind of maybe reaching out to the youth of the Carbon Valley to be helpful in their neighborhood. So we didn't want to like take on a program or anything like that, but just trying to get information out. So that's kind of what they talked about. And
Love that.
we're going to come back together in January and just try to, if you live in this neighborhood, go, help out the people that can't get out there and shovel their snow. And I think there'll be some
nice.
specifically happy citizens that will appreciate it.
I love that initiative. That's a powerful one. Thank you. It's nice. If there are no further trustee comments, no, I would offer that we should take a brief recess. But upon returning from our recess, I would recommend to the board that we go into executive session. One, for the purpose of determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and or instructing negotiators under CRS section 24.6.4024E1 regarding the Silverstone Marketplace.
Madam Mayor, could we do it as two separate motions since it's two
Yes.
separate agenda?
You got it. So that was my motion to you all as a recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee DeVeldi?
Yes.
Trustee Mahan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Padilla?
yes.
Trustee Lamont?
Yes.
Trustee March?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. I would also like to recommend to the board that we go into an additional executive session for the purpose of determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and or instructing negotiators under CRS section 24.6.402.4E1 regarding a potential property acquisition.
So moved.
Second. Trustee DeVeldi?
Yes.
Trustee March?
Yes.
Trustee Lamont?
Yes.
Trustee Mahan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Padilla?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Let's take a 10-minute recess, please.